How would your life be different if you were 3 times, or that's 6, if you were just 3 times more confident in your ability to speak, help people? Think about that. While you're thinking about that, I am Jackson360, and I'm going to share some tips with you, some strategies, techniques on how you can become more confident immediately if you are a brand new speaker. And if this is like a first speech you're about to give, if you're a Toastmaster, you're giving an icebreaker speech, or if you're a person that this is the first time and you're really nervous and you're trying to overcome your nerves, I'm going to share with you some things that I've done that I know you can do. And I've coached a lot of speakers. I work with a lot of people, and I know these things work. So I just want to share some of these tips and strategies with you, and so that way you can be able to grow and spread your message. You can take your mess and turn it into a message, and then massage the world with that right there in that order. So let's get into the information. Are you ready? You better get ready. All right, so first and foremost is let's talk about the technical part of it first. So the technical part of it is you want to have some type of structure. That means you have a roadmap and a plan. If you have that, it's going to be easier for you you won't be as nervous if you have a structure. And I'm going to give you a quick structure for a brand new speaker. So if you're a Toastmaster, you're given an icebreaker. That's 4 to 6 minutes. So you want to know how much time you have to speak. Okay, you want to know that. And then you want to adjust your speech accordingly to that time. So let's say, for example, if you're speaking 4 to 6 minutes. Right? So what you do is people are going to remember this. People will remember the most the first thing when you started out, and they're going to remember the end. They're going to remember how you started. They're going to remember how you conclude. And they may not remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. Okay? They're going to remember that feeling. They're going to remember that picture that you painted, that time with you. So let's talk about that. So here's the structure that you can use. So first, if you're nervous, you're a brand new speaker, write out your intro. It may be, and then write out your outro. And in between, you can give 3 quick points that are detailed, that are all circle and work together. Okay? Call that the Dr. Jackson 360 approach. So you have an intro you wrote out, you got 3 points, and then you got your outro. So for example, it might go something like this. I'm just giving you an example. It's just one of your first speeches. So you say, and you give them a quote. Say, who here would like to become an instant millionaire? Let people, raise their hand. All right, so I'm about to share with you 3 tips that I learned that not only helped me become a millionaire, but I became wealthy. And I found the treasure that was deep inside of me. These 3 tips, if you pay attention and you use them, I can promise you that these 3 techniques will help you grow as a person and be stronger. Are you ready? If you're ready, say I'm ready. You're ready. So did you see how I was engaging? So you want to be a little engaging if you can, and you're reading. So now you just read your intro. Bam. Now you want to go into the points, and you can say, okay, so point 1. My first point is it's important that you be bold. Boldness. And then you talk about how you discovered boldness and be brief with it. And, I can say, growing up in Chicago on the south side of Inglewood, I learned the power of boldness because I would have to walk through the Windy City streets. And many times, if you weren't bold, you'll get ran over, and you had to protect yourself at all times through the harsh times. And I learned the power of boldness. Have you ever had to be bold in your life? Okay, that's the first point. Second point, now being bold isn't enough. What I also learned is that you got to be able to face your fears as well. You got to be able to add this second point. If you don't just be bold, if you add this second point, you'll be able to be even stronger. Are you ready for the second point? Yeah. So the second thing I learned is that you want to be fearless. You got to face your fears. See, growing up, one of the biggest fears that I had in Chicago was being late for school, because if I was late for school, I knew I would be in trouble with my teachers. And so I had to face my fears every single day. And so bam. So you talk that story. And then you say, well, lastly, so I want to give you, so I already told you about being bold. I told you about facing your fears. The last thing, those 2 still aren't enough. You got to implement this last thing if you really want to discover the hidden treasure and become an instant millionaire. And that last jewel that you will find is you got to know how to step outside of your comfort zone, whatever that third point may be. Because see, most of us, we live in this box, in this comfort zone. And it's a quote that says everything that you ever wanted or say one day I was walking down the street and I was so fearful, and someone walked up to me and they said, listen, and they said something that changed my life. They said, if you want to get everything that you want in your life is on the other side of your comfort zone. Living in a danger zone is where you're living. And that changed my life. It made me look at things different. And now I approach everything out with courage. And so if you see what I just did, I gave the intro, I gave 3 points. I tried to make them somewhat interactive. You don't have to be definitely as interactive as I am, but you just got 3 points. And they're relevant to the people. You're not just talking about yourself. You try to make your speech relevant to the other people so that they can tune in because they want to know what's in it for them. And then lastly, you're going to give them an outro. Well, before your outro, you just recap and you say, all right, and so I just want to recap. If you want to find that hidden treasure, it's important that you, 1, be bold. 2, you face your fears. And 3rd, who remembers the 3rd one? And they say, live outside of your comfort zone. Yes, I'm just making sure you're paying attention. So with that being said, you have what it takes. But here's the thing. Most people will never find a hidden treasure because they're afraid to be bold. They're afraid to face their fears and they're afraid to come outside of their comfort zone. But you're different because you are bold, fearless, and you step outside of your comfort zone. With that being said, and then you give them a quote. With that being said, remember, the greatest tragedy is not death, but it is living a life and coming to your deathbed, realizing that you've never lived your life in the first place. Boom, 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 and then you drop the mic like boom. And then you don't leave yet, though. You got to wait till somebody else come on the stage and you shake their hand. All right, so that's technique. So technique, basically, like I said, is you come in, you can write out your intro, write out your outro. They can be 1 paragraph, and then you have 3 points in the middle. That's simple. And try to do a recap somewhere between that 3rd point and your outro. Just recap so people can remember. You can do all this between 4 to 6 minutes. Again, this is just a example template. You don't have to give this, but if you notice, when I gave my points, I try to make it a story. So it wasn't just a point. It was like a story about how I discovered the point. So that might help you too. When you're telling stories, that way you don't have to remember as much, because all you can write on your notes, story 1, story 2, be bold, story 1, be fearless, story 2. And so that way you can easily remember it and not have to focus about what you're going to say, because these are stories that you've already are familiar with. Okay. I know that's a lot. Let's take a moment to breathe. All right, so here's the next thing you want to do. It's important that you have a mantra. Before you hit the stage, let me tell you a mistake that many speakers make when they're brand new, is that they sit down and they wait for someone to call their name. And I made that mistake. Let me tell you, before they called my name and I was giving a speech, I was in the bathroom sitting on the toilet, and I wasn't even using the toilet. I'm just so nervous. I'm shaking in my Gucci loafers because I'm hearing it calling my name and I don't want to go in. And if you're sitting down and you got that nervous energy, by the time you stand up, you're going to feel a little awkward, and it's going to take you some time to try to build up your confidence. Here's the solution. What you can do is stand up, move around, have a mantra. Some of the highest performers, they have a pre-game mantra. They might do something like, they might say, like, for example, I say a prayer. I may say, just God, thank you for giving me this opportunity so that I can be able to speak and touch one person and touch these souls and be able to transform someone's life. So I'm putting myself in a state of being gratefulness, or I may do some push-ups, do some jumping jacks, do a headstand, but I'm doing something to work some of that nervous energy off and take control of my body. I'm saying, body, I'm in charge. So that way, when they call me to the stage, I'll run to the stage because my energy is strong. Because remember, when you're on the stage, you're inviting them to your world. You're not going to their world. You're inviting them to your world. You're about to distract them from what they were already thinking and take them into a whole new realm of doing something different, thinking something different, feeling something different. All right. So your energy has to be strong. So you can do that by standing up, having the mantra, having like a pregame thing that you do. Do that. Second, though, the last thing I want you to keep in mind is find a speaker that you admire. When I first started speaking, I would find comedians. I would find teachers, preachers, speakers, motivational speakers, and I would borrow from them. I would say, "Ooh, I'm gonna take that joke," or "Ooh, I'm gonna take his style or her style," and then you take that on the stage with you. And it's really like training wheels when you're a new speaker. It's just helping you build your own confidence so that you can see that people want you to succeed, right? The crowds aren't trying to hurt you. And so that's the biggest obstacle, is that you just got to get used to building that muscle. Remember, speaking is a muscle. Confidence is a muscle. The more that you do a little bit every day, that you see these muscles right here. Can you see that? Is that what's that? You can't see it? Oh, you see it. Oh, yeah. Woo! Woo! Put the guns up. Woo! Hey, what you know? That's an assault rifle right there, okay? My mouth is like a weapon. Okay, so that's how I think about myself. And so I work on it every day. I build my creativity muscles, my ability to be able to speak off the top in the cuff by creating videos without outline. So have someone you admire, practice like them every few days. Sometimes you can even read out loud. Find a book you like, read out loud, read loud. Read fast, read slow. So that way you're building those muscles. And the more that you do that, you're going to have your confidence, and people are going to look at you. They're going to say, you know, here's something different about you. I don't know what it is, but it's something different about. But I like it though. I like it. Whatever it is, keep doing it. In fact, you know what? I got some money for you. Here you go. So that's what you want. That's what you're going to get. I want you to close your eyes and imagine people walking up to you and they say, good job. And they're giving you an envelope and you open it up and it's a check with your name on it. Because you're such an awesome speaker. So you're going to get that. With that being in mind, remember, have a structure. Have a mantra that you use before to get your energy up right before you go on stage. And lastly, have some sort of mentor that you can admire and borrow from until you develop your confidence. And then you can start being more unique and letting, and being more of yourself. So with that being said, tell your story is unique. And I want you to follow me as well on my social media platforms. Subscribe to the page if you're watching this on YouTube or wherever you're watching this. Be sure to subscribe to my page. You can find me at Dr. Jackson 360 across all social media platforms. This Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Follow me there. I give all type of tips all the time. Also, we have a class online that I teach. I give free information out all the time on my YouTube page. But then we have a paid class if you go to the businessbootcamp.us. So if you go there or you click on the link in this description, you'll see the class where we go in detail about overcoming fears and all type of speaking tips for if you're a neophyte beginner or you're an advanced speaker, a Socrates, and you've been doing this thing for years. So we want to be able to help you with that. So just make sure that you be the best you can be. Again, I am Jackson 360, your platform partner, and I look forward to seeing you on the stage making moves, saving lives, doing what you do. In that order. Peace.